parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
It's Naomi. Well, I'm ready, but...
But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
And Suzu, of course it's Naomi and Suzu. Anyway, let's just come out. Alright. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi's and Suzu's faces turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares. Oh wow. I get why. I mean, look at that dress. That is one epic dress. Wow. I'm a bit jealous. I wish I had a dress like that. I really do. Anyway. What?
Dude, you look hot.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
I've had it for a while. I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants. Wow, they do look pretty good. I mean, just truth be told, when there's a guy in a suit that is perfectly fitted, because it's not good when it's either too small or too big, because that just makes it awkward. But when a guy wears a perfectly fitted suit, just, I love that. It's just, anyway.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down that final step, smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
I thought Damien was the one who could read minds. Not James. It's wow. Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess. I couldn't deny that I was nervous, but I had to try. I mean, this party was more than what it seemed, and I had done all that I could to prepare for it. Now it was all up to fate. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Oh my, I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything. I looked to the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with this otherwise.
I guess the servants counted as belongings to the house.
I guess they did. My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple days, but living away from the ones who raised me, it was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I was beyond speechless. But truth be told, Mika, it wasn't really just on his own accord, because your mother was like, "Oh, look at your daughter, she's so cute, she looks amazing, don't you think I'm right?" And Then he looked at you and he was like, yeah, you're all grown up. So it wasn't really just on his own accord now, was it? Anyway, let's continue. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready, then, to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
Great. My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked to the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised at night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say. Wow, that's harsh.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
It's been okay, I guess. It's been pretty good, actually. I'm doing my best. Well, I feel fine. I'm gonna go with...
I'm so sorry about your
been pretty
grandfather
good.
passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Thank
Do
you for
you
your
have
condolences.
college plans?
Wait, was it timed? Did it already answer for me? What? Oh, okay. I felt like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
It will get back on
What do you
track
think
soon.
of the philanthropic policy the company has?
The what now? If it were up to me, I would be more concerned with making profits. I'm thirsty. It's policy to...
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
Not sure if that's the right one. Do you think the company should expand from just toys? It's a toy company. Why? Good answer. Eventually, the questions stopped and I was back to being myself. Naomi and Suzu were mingling in the crowds and the incubi were doing their jobs. So I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
Hi, Andrew. Why are you saying Miss Anderson to me? That makes me feel very, very old. Simply nod to him. Oh, he probably didn't like that. My mom probably didn't like that either. Andrew was slightly taken aback, but gently smiled and lowered his hand with a nod in return. Oh, I left him hanging. I'm sorry, I didn't think that through. Okay. My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
So, you organized this party very well, Miss Anderson. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
You're kind of freaking me out. I don't know why, but you're kind of freaking me out. Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. Oh, so it's not just me. He really does give off a weird vibe. Okay. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become. Enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
Aha! Aha!
Well,
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO? I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that.
of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
Very interesting.
If you'll excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people. What should I do? Should I stay put or should I follow him? Should I stay or should I go? I don't know, I'm gonna stay put. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but I gave him his space. He obviously needed it.
He's not CEO material.
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
Really, you see that as an interrogation? I thought he was actually kind of mild for his way of doing things.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he'd lecture me in front of everyone. That was not something that I wanted at my housewarming party. I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning that the party was going to end soon. I lowered my gaze out the window and saw a limo pull up. Huh? Whose limo is that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Yes, Mom. Who's Lewis? My mother left my dad and me to slowly escort the guests out. My dad held his simple smile as he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the doors before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Okay, now you're just kind of freaking me out, Dad, because why are you being so nice to me? That's really weird. Oh, thank you, Dad.
Keep it up and you'll be a good CEO.
Oh, right.
All right, your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi
Dad
and Suzu
approves.
need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Oh, right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party.
Bye-bye, Naomi.
We'll come visit tomorrow or something. All right?
Right, Suzu. Right, see ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Will do. Bye-bye. All 4 of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. That was tiring.
It's not like you had to do any work, though.
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much.
She handled herself the best she could.
As expected, Princess.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Hush, Sam.
Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Ho ho ho! It didn't take long to find you little shits after all.
What? I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Are you sure? Are you really sure?
All of us shot our heads towards the doors, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine, roughened up clothes and a pistol in his hand. I saw a monster. He does have pretty nice white hair, though. Something that's positive about him. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman in matching thug-like clothes.
Aw, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. What the fuck?